There we go. Beautiful, beautiful. Beautiful dream. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Beautiful Mark. And you look
About
up.
About time you noticed.
You look up.
And now, it's the Still Unnamed Podcast. With your hosts, Pete and Mark.
Hey kids, and welcome to another exciting edition of the Still Unnamed Podcast. I'm Pete Salas, along with
Mark Cowboy Rodriguez.
the cowboy. The cowboy rides away. No, the cowboy rode into town here. What's going on, man?
Not much. Just cowboying it up on my horse.
Now, what does that mean? Because, that could have several different meanings by being a cowboy.
I went to the livestock show, so I'm pretty well versed in all things livestock. I saw cows and
Boys.
and rabbits.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right, so how was the livestock show?
It was fun. I mean,
Thanks.
no, okay.
End of story.
The end.
Hit the music.
What happened is, because I used to, when I went to the livestock show when I was younger, is I would get my bracelet and I would ride all the rides.
Okay.
But I'm a dad now, and I don't get bracelets for myself anymore, and I don't
You
get
get them
to
for the kids.
I get them for the kids.
Boo.
Yeah.
Stupid kids.
And real quick,
Uh-huh.
it sucks that they don't accept tarjeta
They don't?
for the bracelets.
That's stupid of
That
them.
is so bad.
They expect everyone to be carrying cash like it's still 1978.
We brought like $60 worth of cash,
Uh-huh.
and immediately
Gone.
$50 is gone because it's $25 per bracelet.
For the kids? Did you spend $50 just to get the kids
Just for bracelets, bro?
That's freaking stupid.
It sucks.
Okay.
But you know what? They had a really, really good time.
All right, good.
They enjoyed it.
Okay, and then?
There was here's a little funny story. I'm gonna tell you how I went from talking to one of the what is the cultural appropriate name for Carny?
You know what? You know what's so weird? Just put a pin in that.
Yeah.
The topic that I was bringing to the table was carnivals and circuses in town.
Really?
That is so weird that we're on the same wavelength. But
Awesome.
Carnies. I like carnies.
Okay,
Let's go with carnies.
we're gonna go with Carnies. If I'm mistaken,
I've been called a carny in the past before too. So.
I plead ignorance and I
good.
apologize.
Well, it's not like I don't know if we have circus folk listening to us, but whatever. Carnies.
Okay.
Dirty carnies.
I'm going to tell you how the conversation that I went with this dirty carny
Uh-huh.
went from me saying, "Has it been raining?" to him telling me how he beat the shit out of some guy that molested his daughter.
Oh my God! Why am I laughing about that? That's awful.
So I have this really good knack of just people like to talk to me. I have a friendly face. So it started to drizzle a bit.
Okay.
It started to drizzle a bit, and the kids weren't done riding rides, and some of the people stopped riding rides, but there was this like bumblebee spinning thing that they wanted to ride on.
Okay.
So we took them over there, and they were the only kids that were on there.
Okay.
So I just turned to the guy, and since it was sprinkling a little bit, I was like, "Hey, so has it been raining all week?" I mean, no, is this the first day that it rained? I asked him, and he goes, "No, rained yesterday." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And he's like, "You didn't know? You ain't been outside?" And I was like, "No, I got to stay inside all day yesterday."
Ain't you a man?
And he goes, "Yeah, we had to shut down the rides because I wouldn't let my kids ride in any of these rides, especially now when it's raining." It started to make me feel a little bit like shit. And then he was like,
you were all of a sudden a carny's getting real judgy.
"Yeah." And
Okay.
he started to go on like, "You couldn't pay me to let my kids ride on these rides."
Are you fucking kidding me?
He said those words exactly, Pete.
You couldn't pay me to.
A carny said that. I'm sorry. That's mean to carnies. I apologize. But I still was insulted.
What? Why though? Like that's his livelihood.
Here's
the fact that you're riding his stupid ride.
I know he's trying to make me not want to do these things, because he went on to say, even if it was clear weather, I wouldn't let my kids ride on these because I know who puts them up and I know how they operate.
Oh my God. And meanwhile, your kids are fucking on this
They're
thing
fucking
right
spinning around on that Carny ride that apparently...
on this death trap.
He said, I do not let my kids ride on these rides when they were kids, and I do not let my grandkids ride on these rides.
How old was this fucker?
Dude, he had to have been, I'm going to say 60.
Oh my God. Okay. And then?
Maybe 63.
All right.
But he's like pretty much talking shit about carnies and how they put up their rides. And he's like, I don't trust them. He goes, they can go to Walt Disney World. They can ride all those amusement park rides, but I don't trust these rides right here.
He's like a self-hating carny, basically.
Pretty much.
Wow. He's got issues. Okay.
And at this point, I'm just smiling and nodding because I'm like, I fucked up by saying... Has it been raining?
First initiating this fucking one-sided weird-ass conversation.
Correct. So then he goes on to say, I don't trust any of these people. He goes, my daughter got molested.
While at the carnival?
While I get by what he said. What was the name of the ride he said? He said that that his daughter had gone on one of the rides that she comes out of it crying and saying, that man touched me. So I don't know if he was working there at the time or if he was visiting a different carnival. I think he was working there at the time, and he was like with his kids there.
At his own carnival.
Correct.
Or like the one he works
he participated in.
And then?
And he goes and he beats the shit out of that guy.
Oh my God.
And they had to like pull him away, and they said, and he told the people that were there, he's like, you need to either take care of him or I'm going to take him out back and take care of him myself.
Oh, shit.
So they let him go, and he took him out back, and he beat the shit out of that guy.
Okay.
And he was like, I don't trust these people. And then the ride ended, and he didn't stop talking. And my kids started to come down and started to go out the exit. And he was like, that's what happened. That was my experience with some of these people.
That's like carny justice, whatever.
It was 100% carny justice.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That reminds me kind of like in wrestling world, like there's this thing that I hear about called wrestler's court. Okay?
Oh, I heard about this.
What they do is like if there's an issue or someone fucks around in the ring and goes into business for themselves, what they call like when they go off script kind of, and they want to show off for the crowd, and the other, I mean, it's two people. It's basically a performance.
Correct.
So you got to kind of read your opponent and feel what they're doing. If you go way off course, then it pisses off the other guy, and you run the risk of hurting them.
Correct.
So when those wrestlers get backstage, if the one wrestler A fucks up and wrestler B's pissed off about it, he can call for wrestler's court, which means they all go into one certain locker room, and like the entire roster is like judge, jury, and executioner. And I can tell you for a fact that I've heard in WWE world, the judge, the one who presides, the Undertaker. I
heard about that.
He is the one that is as guilty or not guilty. And if you're guilty, you're gonna get a fucking beating by a couple of guys for real this time.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm sure that because wrestlers are kind of like carnies. They're on the road 300
they're travelers, they're
days a year.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's got to be the same thing. So if this other guy who's running the Gravitron or whatever the fuck touched his daughter, then I'm pretty sure
she was 9 years old. Pete.
Holy shit! Yeah, and
it was disgusting what he was saying.
That guy. Yeah.
It proper pissed me off, but also I knew this guy for 29 seconds.
He's already telling you his life story.
His life story about how.
What was my darling sister doing this whole time?
Just smiling and nodding, and then we walked away, and she was like, "I caught the tail end of that. Did he just tell you that his daughter was molested?"
Oh my God, dude, that is so weird.
Yeah.
That is so. How are people that like open? That's so. I mean, again,
in your experience, do people just spew truths?
Yes, I have that same effect. Like, I have been told multiple times that I am very easy to talk to and very
easy on the eyes. I agree.
Well, thank you very much.
Wink finger guns.
Yes, I am. I'm very easy to talk to. I'm always people like, especially, and I hate to say it this way, but like back in the day, you know, when I talked to a lot of women,
Hey.
A lot of women felt very comfortable telling me their entire life story, and including some things I really didn't want to hear. I mean, some things I did want to hear because it was like, yeah, tell me more about that one. But sometimes it was like, holy shit, like your uncle's a piece of shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like that type of thing.
Like
and I'm like,
heartbreaking
fuck,
stuff,
dude.
and
people
gets you
just open up, and it's like, damn, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I understand what you're saying, but like to have a carny telling you that he wouldn't let his kids on the same ride that your kids are on at that very moment, that he runs,
Yep.
that he relies on in order to put food on his daughter's table.
She's not
so
9 anymore. She's
fucking-
probably an adult.
Well, I'm sure, but you know.
Still, it seems like bad business.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like if you ran a restaurant and then like one of your patrons was like, "Oh, like how's the food?" and you were to tell them, "Man, I would not fucking feed my dog this shit."
Right. As he's like bringing it to your table, like the server's like, "Yeah, this is fucking gross. Here you go."
Anyways, that's what's going on with me. What's up with you, Pete?
Well, you know, I was just I've been driving this whole weekend, driving back and forth, and you know, just doing shit and running errands. And there are no less than like 4 fucking carnivals and circuses in town.
I've seen them.
And it's like, this is carnival season, circus season, or whatever.
Yes.
It's interesting to me because that's a lot. You would think that it's kind of, again, going back to wrestling, like, there would never ever be 2 competing wrestling companies running a show on the same day in the same town.
Correct.
Like, you're splitting your audience 50. Like, even if they split down the middle, you're only getting half a house of the fans in that region. You would think that they'd plan better.
Yeah.
And this is coming from a guy who used to run a circus. I used to run a circus.
You did?
I almost ran it into the ground, but yes, back in the day when I worked for an advertising agency, one of our clients was called Circus Chimera, and Circus Chimera was a really big circus that toured all over the country.
Okay.
And I was in charge. That was my account, and I was in charge of calling the markets that they were going to go to. Like, I didn't book where they were going, but I always was supposed to stay 2 or 3 towns ahead of them.
Yeah.
To market properly, like 3 weeks out before they got there, to make sure that we had a street team out there putting up flyers and making sure that the spot was on the air and all that stuff. Like,
Makes sense.
that was
Heads up, everybody, in 3 weeks, Circus Chimera's coming to town. You better be there.
Exactly.
Because shit is going to be amazing.
It's going to be amazeballs. Now, the problem with that was that, like, some markets are so small that there was competing circuses that were coming up. So I would tell my boss, and I'd be like, "Hey man, let's just say Alamogordo, New Mexico."
Yeah.
I think that's that might be Arizona. I'm not sure. Anyway, I remember Alamogordo because it's like, you know, Gordo like me. So I remember specifically booking radio there, and the guy that I was talking to was like, you know, there's another circus here at that exact same time, so you might want to tell them. So I went and I told them, but nothing happened. They still showed up there at the same time as a competing circus, and it was dead.
Oh, that's
it was an empty house from what I understand. Obviously I wasn't there, but you know, you get feedback, and because I'm supposed to find out also if the marketing works. So the next time they loop back around, I knew not to buy that station or to change it to Spanish or whatever the case is. That was kind of my gig. And it didn't last very long. They weren't making any money, so they kind of folded the Circus Chimera, and some of the performers there joined up with another circus. I'm really curious how many circuses there are that are touring the country, not counting like Barnum and Bailey. Like they're
isn't that one like closing down?
Oh yeah, I think they closed. Anyway,
or is it Ringling's Brothers?
Well, they merged. Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey were like one giant organization that was like touring, and there's a lot of little small carnivals that are like one of the big ones here that's here almost like 4 times a year is that Hermanos Vasquez one that's over there in Donna or something like that.
Yeah, with the
silver elephant.
Yeah, the disco ball elephant and horse.
Right, that's there year round.
Yeah,
because they own that property.
Oh.
That's how lucrative the circus industry is here in this region because they actually bought or leased that property to always have it empty for their tent for when they come through.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty big, man. So anyway, though I say all that because going back to the circus that I ran, there was a really, really funny situation that came out of that. So they didn't have animals. They were an animal-free circus. It
The
was
Chimera
just
Circus?
the Circus Chimera that I ran. Or that I booked.
No, you ran it. This is your circus now.
Yeah, it's my circus, but I take no responsibility for what I'm about to say. So they looped back through, and they were here. Okay. And they showed up here. I think they were in McAllen, and I partied with these circus people one night, and
Really?
it was fucking insane, dude.
Wow.
It was insane. I'm pulling back the curtain here just a little bit.
Yeah.
But we went to the performance. We saw it. It was cool. They had fire dancers and those women that
Acrobats.
twirl down on the ropes on
Yeah.
the scarf things, and they go back up, and they were flying around, and jugglers and plate spinners and just different shit. It was really fun. So afterwards, every night they have a giant feast, and they clear out the center where they do all their performances, and they set up tables, and all of the Carny folk and all of the circus folk and the performers all sit together, and they have a barbecue, and they just
Wow.
and I was part of that, and that was really, really fun. And the beers were flowing, and it was just a fucking great time. I was hanging out with some Russian contortionists.
Whoa.
And yeah, man, I fell in love with one of them just a little bit. She looked a lot prettier while she was doing her little little flippy flips. From a foot away, she was, she went a little less,
Easy on the eyes.
not so easy on the eyes, but I was still attracted to.
Did she get a chicken dipper with her foot and dip it in some honey barbecue sauce and then eat it?
No, not quite, but it was fun. It was a fun experience that I don't think I've ever talked about it. Now, they had two clowns. There was two clowns that did in between intermediate
the intermission,
the little intermission shit, and they throw confetti at people and they fall down and their pants fall down. Just whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Their names were, God, I'm trying to remember their names. It was Harold and Bean or something like that. It was something weird. It was something and Bean or Beam. Anyway, it was probably their last names. And they were a pretty good, big known circus act in the carnival industry. So it was a big deal that Circus Chimera got them and booked them for this tour because they were really good. They weren't normal parts of the normal touring show. They were just special for this loop or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, from what I understand, I was not there because it was the day after. They stay there for 5 days or whatever. The day after, we got a phone call at the office that said, we need to alter the spot because we can't mention the clowns anymore. It was come down to Circus Chimera and get the fire breathers and everything I just said, and the world famous Harold and Beam or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Well, it had to be revised to take them out, and we were like, fuck, man, why? And I keep in mind, I've got those spots running in around the country, for the next 3 weeks. So I got to change.
It's not just the McAllen.
No, I mean, obviously these need to change right now.
Yeah,
but I've also got spots that I need to change for the next 3 weeks. So I'm like, fuck, what the hell happened? Did they quit or whatever? Well, from what I understand, after the circus and everyone's having their feast or whatever, they go back to the trailer to change or whatever. They're so all of a sudden, from what I understand, their door opens to their trailer, and in front of several witnesses, caught them fucking each other.
Whoa!
One clown was fucking the other one, and no one knew that they were a couple or that they were gay.
Oh,
Or maybe they weren't. Maybe they were just lonely. I don't know.
Who caught them?
The ringmaster and just different people.
Okay, so
they got so embarrassed that they quit.
Oh,
They quit the show that night, packed up and left.
Oh shit!
Because they were caught And I mean, not that there's anything
There's
wrong with it.
nothing wrong with it, but I'm sure they were
that like ashamed and in the closet about it that they packed up and left.
Sucks.
So
oh my gosh.
Of course, that became the joke in the office. Like, was it like beep 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 beep? You know, like was it too? Like, you know, just kind of. Did they still have their big floppy shoes on? One had a floppy shoe hanging off, and just. It was, that's...
Oh, my goodness.
So every time I see a circus, I think of two gay clowns fucking each other. That is how my twisted mind works. So I just wanted to share that with you.
Now I'm going to think of that.
You're welcome. And everyone listening, you all are welcome for that. I don't think I've ever shared that story either.
Now I'm thinking about two clowns fucking.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't... There's nothing wrong with it. I just don't want that in my brain.
That is a fetish, by the way. Like, people are into clown porn.
Oh, speaking of fetishes,
yeah.
I saw a video on YouTube.
Okay.
It's on YouTube, so you know it's okay.
It's censored, yeah.
Okay. For some reason, I know. Don't come at me with that bullshit because I don't know how the YouTube algorithm works. First of all, I'm gonna say that right now. I don't know how it works. Sometimes things get popped up.
I like
where
where
you're
this
like,
is going.
I don't know why this is getting popped up in my feed. So, anyways, I saw a thumbnail, and on it said on YouTube, how to make money selling pictures of your feet on the internet.
Oh my God.
So I watched it.
And you don't know how that worked, huh?
Because I was like, I'm a man of knowledge and I like to learn things. And I was like, I would like to learn how this is done.
Okay.
So I watched it and it's very interesting. The woman that was talking about it, she was saying that she gets like, at least, she said, look, if you're going to do this is how you're going to do it. Do not get less than $20 per foot.
What?
Yeah, $20 per foot. And she goes, and you can go up from there. So
that's crazy.
Like,
dude.
You can do the arches, or you can do this, or you can do like. Sometimes they'll come at you with wanting you to step on things. And that you gotta add the. She's like, okay, like if they want you to step into a jar of peanut butter, you have to put that into the consideration of how much you're going to charge them, because you have to take into account the gas that you're going to use to go to the store, the new jar of Jif that you're going to use, because you're not going to use your Jif at home. You're going to use a different jar of Jif.
Exactly.
So you have to take all of that into consideration and tell them. And also always get the money up front. She's like, I don't have to tell you this, but just in case you don't know, get the money up front. Tell them your Venmo or your PayPal or whatever the fuck. Just make sure you get the money up front. And you can be as anonymous as you want, or you can be as open as you want. She goes, you can do it however. And then she goes on into talking about how some of these people get into foot fetishes. One of them, she's like, I have a friend. Fuck, what was his name? I don't remember. Let's call him Joseph. Fuck whoever is named Joseph. You sound like you have a foot fetish now. So she was like, this guy is very open about it. And she says the way he got into it is it started off when he was younger. He had a girlfriend that he would like hang out with her at her parents' house, and since they couldn't fool around, they sat on opposite ends of the couch, and she would use her foot to like play with his dick or whatever.
What the fuck?
And that's how it all started, and now he's super into feet. And so I asked Alyssa, she said no.
She's not into feet?
No, I want to sell pictures of my feet on the internet.
Do you have pretty feet?
I have okay feet. Here,
let me see. I'm curious. And just FYI, I do not have a foot fetish. I think feet are fucking disgusting.
Okay, and she went into that also. She said, if you are not into feet, don't insult your audience, because that's like the way carnies work. It's just you're ruining the product.
Okay.
So these are my bad boys. As you can see, they're pretty nice. Look at this arch right here. It's so
That's
soft.
a good arch. I don't have an arch. I have a fallen arch or whatever. My feet
so this is pretty good. I'm gonna use this audio to sell my feet. There's a little bit of hair. Apparently, ladies are into feet too.
I don't know. Ladies out there, do feet turn you on or whatever?
If they do, message me. I'll sell you pictures.
He's selling pictures of his fucking feet.
I'll give you a little discount code. So these are my toes. This is the one that had pus the other day. But
oh, Jesus Christ, put that away. Oh God!
It's fine now.
You can't sell that shit.
I can. Look, it looks really nice. I had it soaking in water. I think I need to work on my toes. My toenails, because this one's a little bit crooked.
How's your pinky toe? Like mine's impossible to fucking cut. It's like just basically like a pebble stuck to my foot.
It's a fucking pretty nice pinky toe.
My nail sucks on my pinky toes.
I think I'm gonna like paint my pinky toe now.
Don't
That'll
do
be my
that.
thing.
Mark,
they'll be
what
like,
the fuck is wrong with
hey,
you,
here's
dude?
pinky toe. Mark. I'm not gonna. Here's if I do it, I'm not gonna use my name. I'm not gonna use my face. I'm just gonna send pictures of my feet. I might shave my toes also. Do
Mark,
people like hairy toes?
Mark, wow, dude. Oh God, I'm horrified and intrigued at the same time. And foot fetishes to me it does not make sense because I think feet are disgusting. So it's really hard for me to understand that. But quick story. That same Comic-Con that I was, that I hung out with Lou Ferrigno.
Sucked on his toes.
Yeah, he has giant toes. But we were hanging out backstage, and I don't mean to name drop here because these are like, D-list celebrities, but I was hanging out with Tara Reid.
Awesome.
And
star of Sharknado.
And her handler, like her version of me that I was for Lou, who like got her shit and drove her around.
Yeah.
He worked for the con. I was talking to him. Well, actually, it was one of those moments where I don't strike up conversations. People strike them up with me.
Correct.
She has all these like 8x10s that she was going to sign if you paid her $40 or whatever. You got a picture signed by her.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like an unwritten rule that like the guy who takes care of you the entire time, at the end of the con on the final day, you're like, hey, do you want a picture? You're like,
yeah, just a little courtesy. Like, you hooked
tip.
Me up. This is the least
Exactly.
that I can do.
So he knew that going in, and he was real excited to do the Tara Reid one because one of the pictures, if you remember, she was in The Big Lebowski.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's the first scene that you see her in, she's in a bikini, she's looking hot.
Yeah.
And she's painting her toenails. Mm-hmm. So one of the pictures is the dude holding her foot while like she's like blow on them or whatever, like to dry them.
Yeah.
So this guy was like, I really want that one. And I'm like, oh, hey, hi. And he's like, yeah, bro, like I've been eyeing that one like all weekend. Wow. Like that's the one I want. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I mean, she looked hot in her bikini. And he's like, no, fuck the bikini, man. Her fucking feet, dude. Like, I've got a foot fetish.
Wow.
Bad. And I'm like, really?
I mean,
how? Like, why? And he's like, I just fucking love feet, man. And her feet in that picture is fucking beautiful. Like, I know he went home and fucking jerked off on that picture. I know he did. I wasn't there, but I know for a fact, Mark, that he went home with that picture.
Did she give him a picture?
Yes. And you know what? The fucked up part is on the last day, on the Sunday, keep in mind, by that point, I was engaged the night before. So I was like floating on cloud 9. This motherfucker pulled me right back down when he was like, I got the picture, bro. And it was signed by her. And it was like, she wrote to, I don't know what his name was. What's the name?
Joseph,
the fucking weirdo Joseph. To Joseph. And she put blow on them, Tara Reid. So
he must have busted
I know
nuts.
he blew on it. I know he blew all over that fucking picture.
I'm sorry, Miss Reid. Can I have another picture? I ruined this picture.
Oh God.
I don't know, man. I don't like to kink shame, but I just like there are things that I do not understand.
I don't get them either, man. It's strange.
I'm pretty liberal and open minded. There's just I mean, whatever. I don't. It doesn't float my boat, but if it floats yours and you don't molest children at a carnival.
Right.
Then that's fine.
Come on, guys. No one wants to. Did you ever go to the carnival? Because I remember as a kid going back to carnivals. This is going to be. I'm probably going to figure out what the name for this episode is. It's going to be very carnival oriented.
Centric.
I remember there was always a carnival.
Carnival.
When I was a kid. There was a guy, and I can't remember the name of the fucking ride. But I think it was called the Avalanche.
Okay, that sounds familiar.
I may be wrong on that, and correct me if I'm wrong. People from the Paloma Barrio, where there was a carnival that was always over there by Globe in that area. The guy, when you would get on, there was like a DJ almost like running it, because there was
Okay,
music
yeah.
and there was lights, and you just spun around this big fucking thing, and the things would spin.
Yeah, yeah.
And I remember it was painted kind of like the mountaintops, like snow-capped mountaintops.
yeah.
So the avalanche makes sense, but in my brain, I don't know, it's not registering 100%. What I remember most was the guy on the fucking mic saying, "Do you want to go faster?
Yeah.
Do you want to go faster?" And then like the music would go louder and shit. Like, so, you know, it's kind of like that. You know, you're there to have fun. You're not expecting to get fingered on the avalanche.
What?
Unless you want to. You know what I mean?
Did you get fingered on the avalanche?
I did not. I didn't, unfortunately, no. But, you know, you don't want to go see clowns fucking each other in front of
No.
children. You know, it's a weird
Well, I'm
weird
glad.
situation.
Look, I halfway through or towards the end of that, I was glad that it wasn't like the kids that wanted some autographs.
You know, it might have been. Like, I may have that story wrong, because there was a reason. Like, okay, if they were a couple, I'm pretty sure a lot of the carnival folk knew about it.
Yeah.
But I think this happened like in between sets while families were walking around. Now that I'm thinking about it, it was worse than I described it.
Oh
like,
my gosh.
The clowns were discovered by families and kids and patrons.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Oh, my heart hurts. Oh, that's
What
that's
I
a
don't
reason
understand
to get
is
out
like,
of.
it's like they couldn't wait like in between sets while they're changing. Like, oh,
Damn, you fucking dumped the shit out of that confetti all over that family.
Yeah. Come dump some confetti all over my face. So anyway, this is a dirty episode.
This is, man,
God,
fucking hard right turn from last week.
We're coming out swinging, and thanks for mentioning last week, because we got to just
Yeah.
kind of. How are you feeling, Mark?
Good.
Good.
Yes, I'm feeling good. I'm not feeling any sad spells.
Okay.
I feel significantly better, as I mentioned last week.
Good.
About letting it all out. How about you? How are you feeling?
I'm good. This has been a good weekend for me.
Good. Has anyone like reached out or?
Yeah, I had several people, you know, say that, well, two of probably my closest friends, reached out. One of them said separately, like we're in like a group chat,
Yeah.
and separately in separate chats they reached out to me. So I guess the other one of them didn't want to know the other one was
Yeah.
talking, whatever the fuck it was.
Well, I mean, they didn't want to call you out in the group chat.
Yeah, I guess so. And one of them said, you know, I must be a terrible friend because I've never thought that about you. So if you think that about yourself and I never noticed, then I'm either not paying attention or you're hiding it really well. And that was, you know, eye-opening to know that, and like just to answer that. I don't think I ever answered that. I might have just ignored it. I'm not sure. Right now I don't remember, and I probably should have prepared before I started talking about this. But anyway, that's how we roll here. No, I'm not hiding it. I just suppress it.
Just bury it.
And you know, that's my problem. That's my biggest problem, is I suppress everything. The other friend sent a very lengthy message to me about how wonderful I am, and just like I gotta learn to appreciate the good things and the good times, and most importantly, you cannot believe what your brain is telling you.
Yeah.
You have to believe what your friends and loved ones are telling you.
That's perfect. That's beautiful.
Because your mind will lie to you, and it will create things that aren't true, and show you will manifest all of that anger and hatred that you may have for yourself in that moment. Your brain will manifest it, and that's what you will believe. But you can't get stuck on that. You got to believe what the outside people see, because they see the truth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
And that's I almost forgot a keyword that the first one, and I know I'm purposely not using their names,
Of course.
but she said that I may have soul dysmorphia,
Okay.
and I never looked that up, but I can assume what that means, because I've heard of like body dysmorphia,
Uh-huh.
where you see yourself and you believe like I should only have one leg or something, so I'm going to cut off a leg. Just strange things like that, like where you feel something's wrong with your body.
Yeah, when I think of body dysmorphia, I think of like those people who are super skinny and all they can see in their reflection
that's a better example.
Is like a fat person.
Exactly.
And you can have your ribs showing, but they'll see a tiny amount of stretch on their waist.
Right.
And they'll be like, I'm so fat.
Exactly. So I think what she meant, I don't even know if that's a real thing or if it's something she made up. Again, I never looked it up, but soul dysmorphia, if I'm using context clues and just common sense, it says that I see myself as a ugly person inside when in reality I'm not.
Yeah. And
that's the struggle, but right now I'm feeling good.
Good.
And I just want everyone who listened last week, I was very proud of that episode, and I asked you before I aired it. I said, it launches at 10 a.m. So are you still good with this? Because I was ready to pull the plug that day. I was ready to do it if you were not comfortable, and you said no. Your exact words were, "No, run it." I'm very proud of that episode. So
and I stand by those words.
Good. I'm glad. That's me too.
It was like almost like a soul cleansing episode. Sometimes you need a detox. That's a better word.
A detox. I like that.
Just let out all the shit, just all the bad shit, and then you feel better. And that's exactly what happened.
And then next week you come out swinging with a story about about clowns banging each other mid-show.
Shame on them.
Yeah, and I really want to know their names, so I'm going to look them up, and that's what I was trying to do right now. I was trying to find
your FBI agent is going to be really confused when they see that your Google history searching for famous clown fucking.
Clown. I'm not searching clown fucking.
You have to use fucking with apostrophe N instead of ing.
So anyway, the other thing that I wanted to mention last week, but we did go into a different direction, was the diet.
Oh yes. How's that?
The diet, I'm still going strong. This is by my Mickey Mouse watch, says that we are on day 17 of no sugar, no cheese, and no meat. And it's going, man. I have not gone crazy. I have not killed anyone yet. So I think I'm gonna make it. What did I say? It was a 21-day challenge.
It may be.
Yeah, I think that's what the doctor said. He challenged me for 21 days.
Are you supposed to see him after 21 days or just do it?
No, just do it and kind of report back to him how things went and how I'm feeling. And so 17 days, I have lost 8 pounds.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, I was really hoping for more because when I was on that other diet that I did, remember I won...
Yeah, but that one was like super intense.
That was super intense, and they fed me 3 meals a day and 2 snacks, and they did it for a full month to see. And I lost like 35, 40 pounds in a month, which was crazy. But it was right before the holidays, so I pretty much gained it all back. But this one is slow and steady, so I think slow and steady will win the race.
Absolutely.
It wasn't like, nutritionist created meals like I did last time.
You're doing it all on your own.
I'm doing it on my own. I'm learning a lot about cooking. I'm learning a lot about vegetables and how to make. I mean, I don't have a problem with vegetables. If I took that nasty ass foot of yours and like sautéed it in the right kind of juices and spices, I'd eat the shit out of that. How much for that? You're selling pictures for $40.
Fuck,
How much just to chew on it?
Just to chew on my foot. I mean, I got to talk to my booking guy to make sure, because that's income that I'm losing because I lose the foot.
Right.
At least half.
Right. Okay.
Although there are probably some people that are. What is that guy from Dexter for season 1? He's got like a amputee fetish.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was talking about earlier. I don't remember his name, but
Biney.
Biney does not sound familiar to
Dexter
me.
would call him Biney.
Biney?
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, God, I really want to know the name of those clowns. Anyway, I guess we should wrap it up here. Is there anywhere else we can go with this?
I mean, we went everywhere.
We kind of did. It was good. It was good to come back swinging. So No, I think we'll just end it right here. It was a okay length episode. I lost track. Is this 77 or 76? It doesn't matter. I'll find out later.
Yeah.
But we're getting there, dude. How long do you want to do this? Do you want to go to 100 and stop, or
No.
what do you want to do?
I want to go to 78.
I'm just not doing it again. Let's just stop here for another 2-year hiatus. Okay, man. Well, I guess we are. Yeah, this is episode 77. Holy moly! I never thought we'd get here, dude.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Are we gonna do anything special for 100? You know what? We got like 19 weeks to think about it.
Yeah, let's figure it out. So on that note, Mark, hit the music.
I use my toes.
Oh my God, he did. Gross. Thank you everyone for listening. Thank you for sticking around after last week. I know that it was kind of a rough one to listen to. These two guys that you've come to know over the last 76 episodes, and to come out the way we did, but it was good. It was cleansing, like we said. It was what was the word you used?
Detox.
It was detoxifying, and thank you guys for joining us again this week. Special thanks to our sponsor, Chico's Bail Bonds. And on that note, I'm Pete Salas, along with
Mark the Cowboy Rodriguez.
Signing off. Have yourselves a very, very happy Taco Tuesday.
Happy Taco Tuesday.
Bye-bye.